nigga hella. Yo, this is the whole crime, the horrible crimes of soccer's biggest psychopath, Hope Solo Suka.
Goalkeeper Hope Solo was inducted into the National Soccer Hall of Fame. She was caught by police officers passed out drunk in the driver's seat of a vehicle with her 2-year-old children in the back.
Wait, she was passed out drunk with 2-year-olds in the back? Bro, this is what I be saying. Some niggas don't be needing kids, bro. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie.
Out here sleeping and want to make sure you were okay. Okay, what's going on? Why are you sleeping out here in the parking lot?
Because I took a nap.
After refusing to comply.
Bro, some people don't need kids, bro. I ain't gonna lie. She got 2-year-old kids in the back, bro. Cause I took a nap. What? Is it wrong for me to take a nap? Like, bro, come on, dude. Come on, bro. But we do have those in this world.
With the officers and even threatening to falsely accuse one of inappropriately touching her. They got a warrant to draw her blood. Her blood alcohol level was 0.24, which is over 3 times the legal limit. Now, alcoholism is a serious illness, and this seems like someone who clearly needs help.
Wait, why is she driving kids home?
But Hope Solo has had countless slip-ups throughout her career that start to form a pattern of behavior rather than isolated incidents. Whether she was violently assaulting people, making obscene comments about other athletes and nations, or being caught under the influence of illegal substances, she is somehow always seen as the victim. This has led people to calling her a narcissist, sociopath, and that if she were a man, her reputation would be dragged through the mud. Today we are going to deep dive into the chaotic world.
That is kind of true. I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of true. Nigga said, check DM streamer boy. Now, if I was to bang you, would I still be a streamer boy? Now, that's a bad baddie.
Of Hope Solo, the most controversial woman in sports history.
I ain't gonna lie, she's a goalie, huh? You know what I'm saying? There's a famous line. There's a famous quote that somebody once said, bro. In the sport of soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, it has goalies, but niggas still score. Let that really think in your head, bro. Put that picture into anything that you want to put, bro. It could be like, you know what I'm saying, the game of soccer could be your girlfriend. You know? And you could be the goalie. Niggas still score.
Solo's history of violence started in high school. In her senior year in 1998, Hope had a restraining order filed against her by another student. While at a fairground in Richland, Washington, Hope attacked the victim, punching her 3 times in the face. The victim spoke about the incident years later and said, "She punched me in the cheek. Then she said, 'I effing hate you, you fat ass whore,' and punched me 2 more times, once in the eye and once in the mouth." The student immediately contacted the police, and ultimately a judge awarded the victim a restraining order, requiring Hope to stay at least 300 feet from the student for a year. However, Solo romanticizes the incident in her book like she was the main character in an early 2000s high school movie. My first serious boyfriend was a guy I'll call...
I'm literally imagining I'm watching it in first person, watching it happen in my
Tom. He was my first love, although I wasn't ready to sleep with him. I didn't hang out with the popular girls. I was too busy playing sports to play their social games. The popular girls saw me as a threat, and dating a guy like Tom made them hate me even more. After I got back from one trip, I heard that Tom had cheated on me with a cheerleader, one of the popular girls. She goes on to detail her run-in with the girl at the county fair. "Hey," I said, stepping in front of her, "you're a effing slut. Tom's pretty good," she said. "You should give him a try." I punched her.
She got balls! I see why she got punched, homie. But listen, but it's a rebuttal though. So literally, she's in the wrong. Because if the roles were switched, I ain't gonna lie. Her comeback is mad good though, but the roles not like male and female, but I'm talking about if she didn't come up to her and say you're an effing slut, but if you an effing slut, and the other girl came up and said, hey, you know what, Tom is pretty good, you should give him a try, and then she said you a freaking slut, and then she started beating her. Oh my gosh, I would have been on her side forever.
her in the face.
But she low-key
Solo
started
then
it, though.
recalls herself fleeing the scene, shaking furiously angry. The fallout was huge. Her parents wanted to press charges. They wanted to know why I had punched their little darling. While we can agree this is typical high school drama that went too far, it's interesting how Hope romanticizes this in her book, which she wrote when she was 30
And
years
now she,
old, like she
oh
was
my
the
gosh.
innocent target of the popular cheerleader.
And now she doing great things. Now she making big bank. Oh my gosh, Tom lost it, and that girl that took Tom. Oh my gosh,
When
I
in
know
reality,
they mad.
she was the one who started the violent
I know they
attack.
mad.
And we would not be bringing up this high school incident if it didn't foreshadow her future behavior as an adult. But
Damn.
before I continue to dive deeper into
Who gonna
Hope
save
Solo's
her?
controversial career, have you heard that the flavor tastes wearing a bad foot and diffuser
Shit. God damn.
herper of all time today? However, it is important to understand why Hope Solo got to her position as a Hall of Famer, because she is widely regarded as the best women's goalkeeper of all time. After an amazing high
time?
school career, she accepted
even
a
know.
collegiate scholarship to the University of Washington. During her time at Washington, she would switch to the goalkeeper position. Solo instantly realized this was the position she was born to play, racking up a school record 325 saves and 18 clean sheets during her stint at UW. She even got to represent the United States national team in college, but didn't see much playing time. In 2003, Hope made her professional debut with the Philadelphia Charge, but shortly after that moved over to Sweden to play for the Swedish club Gothenburg. While in Europe, Hope was selected as an alternate for the US Olympic team in
Soccer mom,
2004,
hell no.
which is still a great honor. Then during the 2005 season, Hope became the starting goalie, a role she would fill for the next 11 years. The USA women's national soccer team has been a dominant force since the 90s,
That is
whether
true.
it's
I
the
ain't gonna lie,
World
bro.
Cup
Like,
or the
I don't even know how many rings they won in the World Cup, bro. Because I think didn't the US like basically win almost every World Cup, bro?
Olympic Games, they are always considered to be potential finalists. During Hope's run as the starting
In the 2000s,
goalkeeper,
like
the team
starting in
saw
the
great
2000s?
success. In 2007, the USA placed third in the FIFA World Cup. In
Oh, never
2008, at the Olympic Games, they placed first, taking home the gold medal. In 2011, they played second in the World Cup, then took home another gold medal in the 2012
Hang on, these
Olympic
bitches, she
Games.
kinda look
And in
good,
2015,
even though I'm not a milkman.
they defeated Japan 5-2 and became World
Damn.
Cup champions. Hope Solo has 202 games as the USA goalie. Out of those 202 games, the USA only lost 11 of those games with her in the goal, and 102 of those games were shutouts. Some argue that she is the greatest American goalie of all time.
she's
Yet despite her
nice.
numerous accolades, her constant controversies and antics has put an irrefutable stain on her reputation. Hope Solo quickly became known as someone who is not afraid to speak their mind, and her teammates did not like it. In the 2007 World Cup semifinal game against Brazil, she was benched by head coach Greg Ryan in favor of Brianna Scurry. She details the night he made the decision. Solo says that Greg had a gut feeling that Brianna would be the better goalkeeper for the game. Hope confidently
lose the
argued
game?
for her spot. Greg didn't seem to like my tone. I wasn't crying. I wasn't folding. I wasn't making it easy. Instead, I was fighting back with words and logic. So he
Respect.
tried to provoke me, just as he had on field all summer. I had nothing left to say, so I stood up to leave. Greg leaned over and pushed me back down on the couch. You effing leave when I say you can leave. Greg vehemently denies he ever put hands on Hope Solo. Hope even claims that she held herself back from throwing punches at her coach, but ultimately she had to listen to his decision. She sat on the sideline angry and pouting during the whole game as they took a brutal 4-0 loss.
And she ain't swing back. So she swung on the nigga. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, man, I get it. She fighting for her spot and shit like that, but you swing on the nigga that, you know, I mean, you swing on the girl that said, you know what I'm saying, that she basically, yo, man was good in this, you know what I'm saying, you should have him, but you don't swing on a nigga that pushed you back on the ground, even though that nigga said you lied.
After the game, Solo ignored the reporters as she walked back to the bus until the team's press officer, Aaron Heifetz, answered a question for her, which is his job. Agitated by a man speaking for her, she approached the press and said, "Starting Scurry was the wrong decision, and I think anybody that knows anything about the game knows that. There's no doubt in my mind I would have made those saves. And the fact of the matter is,
Did they
it's not
lose?
2004 anymore." Solo recalls the statement she made to the press officer, "Don't
That
ever
woman
tell
do
me what
anything to give her
interviews
away?
I can
Exactly.
do." Her comments to the press were a
I fear for the niggas that, like, yo, the nigga that, like, impregnated her, I fear for that nigga. Oh my God, she basically wear the pants in a relationship, nigga. If she say go get the milk, nigga, hey, he run.
clear
ain't gonna
insult to her teammate, and the statement sent shockwaves throughout the soccer world. They were appalled that she would throw her teammate under the bus like that, although Hope claims she was not speaking ill of Brianna and was trying to criticize the coach's decision. Because of her comments, Greg Ryan dismissed Solo from the team. She wasn't allowed on the bench for the third place game, did not participate in the medal ceremony, and flew home from China on her own. Shortly after, Solo released a public apology. "I would like to especially apologize to Greg Ryan and Brianna Scurry. There is no excuse for insulting a coach or a teammate. My focus now is solely on reconciliation with the team." However, Solo strongly suggests in her memoir that this apology was not written by her, but rather to satisfy the press, which seems to be a common theme throughout the rest of her controversies. But the public took Hope's side. After all, she was objectively the better goalkeeper. Ryan made the biggest blunder in the history of women's soccer. Scurry is not as good as Solo, so why should Hope Solo have to apologize for telling the truth? A lot of people feel like Hope's punishment was unjustified. It's tough to tell if her teammates were clicking up on her because they felt insulted and jealous that the public took her.
Hold on. Who's she? Hey, who this one? Might need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, do some research.
Side, or if Hope spun the narrative to make her seem like a victim when she was rightfully reprimanded. Either way, there was animosity. But then when they won the gold medal in the 2008 Summer Olympics 1 year later, this essentially proved to herself and the world that she could speak her mind and back it up. If people wanted to view me as a villain, I didn't care. I actually liked the edginess it brought to my game, the knowledge that they viewed me as a threat. Twitter was also a place where Solo liked to express her unfiltered thoughts about the world of soccer. After a 2010 loss to the Boston Breakers, she skipped autograph signing for the fans because she said that the Breakers fan section were shouting racial slurs and crude remarks at the players. The Breakers organization denied these allegations, but at the same time, Boston has a long-standing reputation for racist fans shouting at sports events. A few weeks later, after the 1-0 loss to the Washington Freedom, she blatantly accused the refs of rigging the game so that Washington would win. It's official. The refs are straight bad.
Like, come on, let's be honest, bro. If you think not in like one single sport, bro, whether it's soccer, football, basketball, baseball, in all these sports, if you don't think like, if you sit here and think not at least one game was rigged so the other person could win, come on, bro. Like, I think these games are scripted. I don't care, bro. Like the NBA finals and like, nigga, I be thinking these shits are scripted, bro.
It's clear the league wanted DC in the playoffs, Solo tweeted. She was fined $2,500 by the WPS for her reckless statement. Soccer fans thought she was annoying and constantly trying to be the center of attention.
I have a bad rap. You know, people look at me as selfish, outspoken, but I know who I am, and I know that my struggles in my life have allowed me to withhold judgment.
Why, for some odd reason, I thought her voice was gonna be deeper. Like, I thought she's like, I thought she was gonna have some like deep ass voice for some odd reason.
And I'm proud of that. I think I finally understood that I'm a groundbreaking female athlete. And
yeah,
with
it's kind of
that,
scary though.
There's a lot of struggle with that. But I know that I'm doing wonderful things for the sport of soccer, and I know I'm doing amazing things for female athletes. So I can take it.
You're a feisty, smart, beautiful lady who happens to be a fantastic goalkeeper. You're almost a perfect woman.
She most definitely stabbed the nigga. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, judging her character, the way she sounding, how she looking, yo, she most definitely, she stabbed somebody before. Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, I love you.
So her 2011 cover of ESPN's Body Issue, where she posted nude, just added more fuel to the fire. Body Issue is a yearly feature where pro athletes pose nude. During her cover story, she exposed what really goes on inside at the Olympic Village. Hope said after the US women's soccer team won the gold in 2008, she had a night of partying with her teammates, including an all-night bender with actor Vince Vaughn. When we were done partying, we got out of our nice dresses, got back into our stadium coats, at which point she says they went on live television still drunk. She even said she snuck an unnamed celebrity back to her room in the Olympic Village, which was a major violation of the rules. Now, it might not seem crazy that successful young people like to go out and party like the rest of us, but apparently these athletes like to party like Diddy. I've seen people having
said.
right out in the open, on the grass, between buildings. People are getting down and dirty. Her accusations are backed up by the unfathomable number of condoms the Olympics passes out each time it takes place. For example, about 450,000 condoms were distributed during the Rio de Janeiro Olympics, 3 times more than for the London Games. They putting up Diddy and Drizzy numbers at the freak-offs. However, it was in 2012 when Hope
Niggas be having freak offs, boy.
life began to spiral a
What
little
the
bit. Her soon-to-be husband, Jeremy Stevens, who is the former tight end of the Seattle Seahawks, was arrested for a domestic altercation against Hope. Cops say Solo and Stevens were involved in an altercation
actually
around
insane.
3:45
I ain't
a.m.
gonna lie,
on Monday.
Curiosity kills the cat, bro. Hey, curiosity kills the cat.
After arguing about where they will live after they get married, cops found Solo with a small amount of blood on her elbow, which apparently was enough evidence to arrest the husband. She said online the next day, I'm happily married. We never stand for domestic violence. I've never been hit in my life. It's unfortunate, and that's what the media can do. Ultimately, the charges were dropped, which
so
makes
she's
you
trying to save
wonder
him?
where the misinformation came from. That does seem like a major thing to get wrong. Then again, domestic cases are extremely complicated. However, Hope would face the biggest controversy of her whole career just before the World Cup qualifier games in 2014, where one of her drunken nights turned into a brutally violent assault against her sister and 17-year-old nephew. On June 20th, 2014, Teresa, Hope Solo's half-sister, received a phone call from Hope telling
This her half sister? I might need to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't know. Hey, yo, Hope Solo. You don't know. Yo, put me in contact, nigga.
her she was upset because she had been fighting with her husband. Now,
With your sister, nigga. Actually, you know what? Matter of fact, nigga, with your mom's, nigga.
Now, Hope and Teresa had been estranged for many years. They were not close by any means. When Teresa and her son got home around 10 p.m., they arrived to Hope parked in their driveway alone in the car. When they approached Hope's car, they noticed she was drinking out of a wine bottle. Her sister said she was swigging out of a bottle of wine that was in her cup holder. She was drunk. The family
got
moved
mental
inside
yet?
of the sister's house because
got
Solo
mental?
was not fit to drive.
Yeah, she got mental
While
now.
inside, Hope and Teresa had some more wine and talked about her fight
She
with
was beating up her sister and like her 17-year-old nephew.
Jeremy. Hope's 17-year-old nephew
niece.
told the police that
Nephew.
he endured a lot of verbal abuse from his aunt that night, but the situation got worse around 1 a.m. when Hope and her nephew argued. The teenager, who has been acting in local theater for years, told
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Getting beat up. You know what? Never mind.
Solo at one point that being a good actor
I
required
forgot. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight back. I forgot.
having an athletic mindset. Solo responded that he was too fat, unathletic, and crazy to ever be an athlete. The
Damn.
teenager then told Solo she needed to get her cunt face out of the house and then walked away. Teresa also suggested Solo should leave because she insulted her son, but instead of leaving, Hope followed her nephew into the home's garage to confront him. The teenager then yelled for his mother, Teresa,
But
prompting
like,
Solo to call
nah,
him a
bro. Why you yelling for nigga? If you gonna talk crazy, stand on it, homie. I'm sorry, bro. If you gonna like I get it, bro. She said some crazy comment, but like, bro, if you gonna say something like that, bro, you gotta stand on it, bro. Like, there's no like. I'm tired of people thinking like they could like say some shit and walk off, bro. That be like. That low-key be making me like even mad. Like I am trying to like, you know what I'm saying, fix my ways and like be calmer and not get angry at a lot of stuff. But it's like, bro, I don't like when niggas think when they say some shit, they can just walk away, bro. Like that, like, yo. Oh my gosh, bro.
and a mama's
Getting
boy.
beat up as a white boy is different than black boy, no? Yeah. I mean, in what type of sense? Like, just getting beat up in general? Like getting beat up from general?
Boy. Her nephew then replied with, "You'll never know what it's like to be a mother, because even if you did have children, they would have the most unhappy childhoods because you have no compassion." From there, he told police Solo lunged at him to take a swing, hitting him lightly in the face. Then after that, she charged at him and struck him multiple times.
Fight back!
Teresa came into the room and said that her son briefly subdued Solo, and she seemed to calm down. She told her son to let his aunt up off the ground.
Oh, he got on top of her and like held her down. Oh, I thought this nigga was getting fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. The way that shit sounded, I thought this nigga was getting fucked up.
Done. You can let go. She's done. But when he let Solo go, he told police she immediately grabbed his hair, pulled his head down, and started punching him in the face
man.
repeatedly. He said, she jumped on top of me and started bashing my head into the
Solo,
cement.
you can't do
She
that,
grabbed
bro.
him by the head again, and she kept slamming him into the cement over and over again.
my
So
gosh.
Teresa, defending her son, tried to pull Hope off. I came from behind her, and I pulled her over and, to get her off my son. And then once she got off, she started punching me in the face over and over again. At this
gosh.
point, the son called the police.
Do you need the police or an ambulance? Police. Okay, let me get us to the police department.
Hope Solo is going psychotic. She's beating people up, and we need help.
The nephew then grabbed a wooden
I
broomstick
was about to say, at first I was like, that nigga don't sound like he need help, but now it do. I'm not gonna lie.
and hit Solo
Ref, dude. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 23 minutes. I have not streamed the whole 5 hours, bro. You been with me since I've been streaming for like 2 years, bro. You know how, okay, you know what? I'm just letting you. I got you.
over the head with it to defend his mother. She just turned around and looked at him and started to walk towards him.
Thank you. After reactions, bro.
Teresa
Some days you don't play games at all. That's when I do, like, the days I don't play games is when I'm very busy. Like, I'll let y'all know if it's a short stream. If I say it's a short stream or if I say it's a 3-hour stream, word. If it's not, of course I play games, bro. That was one of those days. But dog, 33 minutes is crazy. Y'all niggas was not complaining when y'all, I swear to God, y'all niggas was not complaining any other time. But like when it's time to play games, now y'all niggas complain. Like, bro, word to everything, bro. Like, y'all niggas know I do reactions for 3 hours and then play games for the last 2. Like, bro, this is not new. Like, y'all niggas acting like y'all like niggas is new. Like y'all acting like y'all just got here, bro. Like, oh my gosh, bro. This shit is actually nuts and insane. I don't even know this nigga. This is my first stream here. Eat my nuts.
said of Solo's reaction. That's all.
Yeah.
No
I
flinch,
guess you
no
what you
nothing.
do, huh?
Her
Yeah,
eye
let me just take this VIP badges off then, huh? Since you so new, huh? You new, ref? Let me take that VIP badge back then, nigga.
eyes just got big and she turned. Nothing. They
He
had
might
suffered
dip
the
from the
wrath
back
of a drunken
for
Hope
bus
Solo
fare
and could
and
not
still
physically
walk
get
home.
her to stop
Shotgun
assaulting
nose,
them.
motherfucker.
Luckily, the police arrived to stop
He
the
gotta keep that
violence.
D
When the
down
police
for 33 minutes. Too much of that trampoline today. That's what I'm saying. Niggas bouncing on dick after dick, home.
began asking questions to piece together the
Niggas are
story,
impatient.
Solo said her nephew struck her with a stick, then said he was a scary person and she was protecting herself. But when questioned why, she was unwilling to go into detail of exactly what happened. Solo was arrested, and when she arrived at the Kirkland jail, an officer in his statement wrote, "She showed signs of being intoxicated. Her eyes were bloodshot, speech was slurred, lack of good coordination, and the
She was
smell of
drinking that
intoxicants
good.
coming from her breath were present." As Hope was exiting the vehicle, she told the officer that her necklace was worth more than what he made in a year. As another officer
I ain't gonna lie, you gotta see me. I ain't gonna lie, if I'm a cop, you gotta see me. Word two, I'm telling my partner, take the cuffs off and turn off your camera, nigga. Word two, you gotta see me, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, that's how you feel? That chain worth more than my whole salary, my whole entire salary? All right, bet, nigga. Let me show you these hands like, nigga. Let me show you what these hands like. I'm just joking.
officer was fingerprinting Solo, she made numerous statements that I was not worth anything, and she should be proud to have such authority.
Oh
After
my
fingerprinting,
God.
she was booked and she was being told to walk to the
Bro,
search
egos,
area.
nigga,
Solo
like-
pulled away from an officer,
Niggas' egos be too high, bro.
leading her to be taken to a holding cell. Officers took Solo to the ground to gain her compliance. It was at this point that Solo told one of the officers that if she weren't in handcuffs, I'd kick your ass, and you'll
So what's up then? Yo, what's up? Oh, I'm having a field day. What's up? What up? Yo, take the cuffs off now. What up? Like what? I'm right here. Bro, can't give him a chance on Netflix. Nigga, I'm just saying, nigga, I'm right here. What's up? She's saying these handcuffs are... Words.
You'll notice that her behavior towards the
Right
police
here.
officers is
my
extremely
gosh.
similar to her DWI incident 8 years later. It's important to know that all of the photos and all of the details regarding this incident that you now
See,
know
bro, I
were
probably
not
could
initially
win. I'm not
released
gonna
to the
lie.
public, so nobody knew how violent this assault was. In the days following the
Okay, bro. Hold on, dude. Am I bugging? Okay, so he did say she was slamming his head on the concrete. If I'm being honest, if somebody's slamming your head on the concrete repeatedly and repeatedly, there should be more blood than this, right? And the mother trying to save
the
her son,
public, so nobody knew how
she would have more scratches than this, right? Nigga, that shit look like a mosquito bit to her. Like, just a mosquito bit her neck. That's it. Where did she get punched? Like, from the stories, it made it seem like she was fighting for her life.
violent this assault was. In the days following the assault, she released an apology to the world. I love my family dearly. We, like all families, have our challenges, but my sincere hope is that we are able to resolve this situation as a family. Fans showered her with love and support, thousands and thousands of comments proclaiming her innocence. Solo was not dropped
Yeah,
from
she
her
was
Nike
bringing-
sponsor,
she was
nor
bringing
was she
rings
suspended
home,
from
boy.
professional soccer, even though countless male athletes were dropped after similar allegations. Many people believe the media was extremely soft on her, but others say they were just waiting to see how the trial panned out to take any action. Hope was initially charged with 2 counts of 4th-degree domestic violent assault,
Damn.
to which she pleaded not guilty on all charges.
Damn.
Eventually, the court dismissed the case after the judge claimed the victims were uncooperative, but the victims disagreed. They claimed they cooperated as much as possible, but because the charges were dropped to the public, Hope was innocent. Yet, less than a week after her charges were dropped, Hope found herself in another major alcohol-induced controversy.
wait till
Hope
some
Solo's
months or
husband was
years?
driving a U.S. soccer van when he was arrested for DUI at 1:30 a.m. on a Monday. Police said Solo was in the car at the time, but she was not arrested nor detained. Because of this incident, she was suspended from U.S. soccer for 30 days. Hope was interviewed on ABC News to discuss both of these major mistakes. This is her addressing the domestic assault.
So I'm not going to go into all of the details. I was a victim of domestic violence.
I'm sorry, bro. Is it me or like her voice is just not matching? You know what I'm saying? Like her voice is throwing me all the way off, nigga. Like I keep imagining some deep voiced woman.
At the hands of my 17-year-old nephew who is 6'9", 280 pounds.
That nigga's 6'9" and she was slamming your head against the concrete. 6'9", like 200 and what?
Who is 6'9", 280 pounds. I was struck over the head and concussed
Whole
pretty
tower?
severely.
Exactly.
It was a very scary night.
Then she addressed the DUI.
See, that nigga need to go to the gym. Be like Sam Sulek. That's what he need.
What in the world were you thinking?
Well, clearly I wasn't thinking. It was a horrible choice. I think I just wasn't in a good place emotionally to even make good decisions. I mean, it's not an excuse, but
She stabbed the
stupid.
nigga,
We
bro.
should've called it
I'm
a-
sorry. She
I can
stabbed the
only
nigga.
imagine, Hope, that you must be on a roller coaster.
Oh,
of
she did
emotions.
something very bad to
I'm-
him.
just have
I'm
to-
working through those emotions. You know, I was filled with anger, and
She
I'm
crazy.
finally
I can see.
able to sit down, talk to somebody about what I've been going through and the very traumatic events over the last year. And just being able to speak to somebody has been really beneficial for me.
And of course, she hit everyone with the classic,
I want people to realize I'm just human. I'm just human, and I make mistakes, and I want people to be able to forgive me if they're willing to do so.
and after that, it was almost like it all never happened. Her fans forgave her, understood she's just human, and were ready for her to get back out on the field. But the Washington State Court actually reversed the previous court decision to drop the charges and
wanna
reopen
punch
the
her
case
throat.
against Solo.
Whoa. What you mean punch her throat? What you name? Freaking.
All of those graphic details and photos of her
I know what
violent
you mean.
outburst were finally released to the public, but by then, the media had already moved on, and they didn't care to talk about it anymore. Hope and her legal team delayed the case for 3 years by appealing
3?
countless times. Basically, they delayed their trial and played the system until 2018 when the victims eventually just gave up and wanted to move on with their lives. Hope Solo officially beat another scandal.
Wait,
to
how
make things
tall is
better
Hope
for
Solo?
her, the USA women's national team
Cause gosh dang, boy, she was like a giant. Hold on.
won the 2015 FIFA World Cup, which was a legendary feat. She was on top of the world, but the damage had been done, and real soccer fans and her teammates could see through the mask. And in 2016 at the Rio Olympic Games, she got
She 5'9". You telling me you 6'8", 280? You going to get somebody that's 5'9" and you having a hard time?
herself in enough trouble that would formally end her career. During the Rio Olympic Games, Hope tweeted these two images of what looked like a doomsday supply of mosquito repellent, as well as her wearing a bug protective suit. She used the hashtag ZikaProof. These tweets seem
ZikaProof.
like jokes, but the repellent was her way of trying to protect herself from the Zika virus, which is spread by mosquitoes. And if you
Zika.
remember my Ryan Lochte video, then
What
you
is that?
know how Brazilians were not playing
What is a
around
virus?
with anyone who was claiming their country is not safe. The Zika virus wasn't a huge deal in the United States, but the state of Rio de Janeiro had recorded 26,000 suspected Zika cases. The virus has flu-like symptoms that most healthy people will be able to get through. It has been proven to cause a severe birth defect that results in babies born with abnormally small heads and underdeveloped brains. When addressing her tweets, Hope said that her and her husband were trying for a baby and she was worried it could possibly affect them. I would never take the risk of having an unhealthy child. I don't know when that day will come for Jeremy and me, but I personally reserve the right to have a healthy baby. Nobody knows if this was true or if she was just trying to do damage control after her joke tweets failed to make people laugh. Whenever Hope was on the field during the games, people in the stands would regularly shout Zika whenever she touched the ball. And
Yo,
also
that's
were not
that's
afraid
kinda
to
funny,
boo
bro. I'm not gonna
her.
lie.
Many of Hope's fans felt that people were overreacting, and protecting herself from mosquitoes is totally normal and understandable. Yet 8 years later, people still comment on her Instagram Zika to make fun of her. Likely agitated by the boos from the Brazilian crowds, Hope expressed her frustration to the media again. This time, her comments would land her a suspension, and then send her into retirement. After the women's USA team lost to the Swedish national team in a penalty shootout, Hope said, "I'm very proud of this team, but I also think we played a bunch of cowards. The best team did not win today. I don't think they're going to make it far in the tournament. I think it was very cowardly, but they won." Hope's comments reinforced to people that she was a sore loser. Calling another team cowards for out-strategizing your team in a sports competition is just silly. Plus, Sweden went on to play in the championship final, proving that they were pretty damn good. The media exploded with criticism for Hope. Ironically, this was her largest publicized controversy, with every major news article covering her rude comments and resurfacing her past domestic violence and DWI controversies. The pressure was at an all-time high, and US Soccer had to do something. In a statement, US Soccer President Sunil Gulati said that the comments were unacceptable and do not meet the standard of conduct we require from our national team players, before slapping her with a 6-month suspension. The US Soccer President said that this suspension does take into account her previous actions. However, it seems like US Soccer only
6
suspended her
months?
because of the major media backlash and not because they actually felt she was wrong. And of course, Hope didn't think she did anything wrong either.
Terminated contract, not just a suspension. How can they do both? It's both. 17 f***ing years and it's over.
She also wrote a formal statement saying that she was disappointed with the Federation's actions, but she did not apologize. Even her longtime teammate Abby Wambach was surprised it took this long for her to get suspended.
But if we go back 10 years, if she's 10 years younger and she makes this comment, is she suspended by USA Soccer? Or
Well,
fired?
I don't know, because I think that the suspension was a Lifetime Achievement Award, right? Well, it was. I mean, in terms of her longevity on the team and how many mistakes and stuff that she made, You know, and I'm not judging her because, listen, I've made mistakes also. But
respectfully,
for her, I think it was a compilation of all these things happening. So 10 years ago, I don't think she's made all those mistakes, right?
Okay.
And so I think that in the end is why U.S. Soccer decided to suspend her.
And during her suspension, Hope decided to do some press about the situation and further claimed that her comments were taken out of context.
If anybody actually listened to the interview, and I'm not sure if you have, but it was I wasn't enraged, I wasn't emotional, I wasn't angry. I just had this conversation with all of the journalists in the room after the game, and we were talking about the style of
even this nigga knows she lying. Oh, brother.
We weren't talking about, you know, I didn't mean to come across that the players were cowards or the coach was a coward. I meant the style of play it wasn't very Olympic spirited.
She actually insinuated that the U.S. Soccer Federation suspended her for a different reason.
There are more layers to it that I don't think everybody quite understands. I believe the Federation used my comment saying the word coward to terminate me.
It was about more than
Now, real quick, do you think that Hope is going to tell them about her multiple controversies that
Wait, so what I saw was actually true and real?
involve alcohol, maybe her domestic violence case, or years of disrespectful tweets and off-color statements about the soccer industry? Of course not.
it was about more than that comment.
I've been fighting for, I'm sure you guys have all heard that I've been fighting for equal pay. And I've been the lead voice behind the push for equal pay. In fact, in all the court documents, it says Hope Solo versus United States Soccer Federation.
Hope heavily insinuates that she was terminated not because of her own words and actions, but rather her involvement in trying to get female soccer players equal pay as the male players.
Not only do we bring in more money for the Federation than the men's team, but it's federal law. It's the Equal Pay Act. You have the same employer doing the same job.
Oh, so they bring in more money than the men? Okay, then that's understandable. I ain't gonna lie. When it comes with this like equal pay, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what I try to say, bro. Like you really have to look at how many people watch NBA versus how many people watch WNBA. Now, with the U.S. soccer team, now if the women are like bringing in more viewers and like more people are watching the women U.S. soccer team versus the male U.S. soccer team, I ain't lie. Then you know what I'm saying? Word. Then pay the women more. But like that's how I go off of. That's how I go off of it.
Putting in the same amount of time. Granted, we're more successful at it than our men's team.
True.
Now, the
So
gender
that's why
pay gap is a
I respect
deeply
that.
discussed issue across all industries that includes so many detailed nuances and laws to consider that trying to explain just the US soccer pay situation requires an entire video of its own. But generally speaking, yes, women's soccer players did get paid less while generating about the same amount of money in the years 2016, 2017, and 2018. And yes,
Yeah, respectfully, like, yeah, they should get paid the same, like, respectfully.
Hope Solo led the charge speaking up for women's soccer and trying to get them equal pay. But now that she embarrassed her team with her comments and got suspended, she was all alone. She filed a complaint in 2016 with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission that alleged wage discrimination by the Soccer Federation.
Unfortunately, you are the person that is getting this knife, through you, but at the same time, it's going to open up so much. And you are that Martin Luther King of women's soccer.
Martin Luther King of soccer is crazy, but
Yeah, I
now
ain't gonna lie,
Hope's
that's
life
crazy.
mission was entirely different. She retired from the game and was now fully dedicated to her activism. In 2018, she sued the U.S. Soccer Federation, accusing the governing body of neglecting youth soccer development for the sake of self-serving financial gain.
So soccer in America right now is a rich white kid sport. And then we have to ask ourselves, well, no wonder why we are not qualifying for the World Cup when we have alienated a huge population of really talented youth soccer players.
Then a few days later, she even tried to run for president of the company she was suing. But what's interesting is that in 2019, 28 women's national team players sued the U.S. Soccer Federation without consulting Hope Solo first. Hope had been discussing this issue for years now, and they came together to sue the USSF for the same exact reasons that Hope did. So it makes you question, why didn't they come to her or include her? And in light of this new
Oh my gosh, who number two?
It makes you question why.
Who number 2? Who number 2 and number 23? Yo, who number 2 and 23? I ain't gonna lie. Yo, let me. Yeah, what year is this? What women's soccer, you know what I'm saying, year is this? Yeah. Oh.
Why didn't they come to her or include her? And in light of this new lawsuit filed by the 28 players, the USSF has sought dismissal of Solo's lawsuit. Hope tried to get the government to consolidate their lawsuits together so they could just settle one case and she could be included with the team. Without her present, Solo warned, the players might back down and surrender. But the US women's national team did not want Hope Solo involved. This is extremely telling what her previous colleagues think of her. Perhaps all those years of dealing with her controversies,
Hold on, let me see something.
they figured it would be impossible to get her to remain calm and calculated while facing this litigation. They probably figured she would mess it up somehow. But in 2022, the US women's national team made a $24 million settlement with the USSF and agreed to formulate a new contract between the federation and the players. This was a groundbreaking advancement into the future of the game, but Hope Solo disagreed.
So like you basically can't like, okay, you give names but not pictures next to the names, nigga. Like what type of shit is this?
Is not a huge win. It's heartbreaking and infuriating. A promise of equal pay from the Federation and back pay for a select group of players isn't equal pay, and it's not what this fight was about. Hope was defeated. She felt that everything she had worked so hard for was stolen from her and settled for pennies. She was now fighting her lawsuit alone, and 1 month after the 28 women settled, she was found passed out drunk in a Walmart parking lot with the engine running and her 2-year-old twins in the back seat.
Oh, it was twins!
As police approached the vehicle, they noticed the car was on and running. When they knocked, Hope was jolted awake from being passed out behind the wheel. As soon as the officer started talking to Solo, he noticed the smell of alcohol in her breath and asked her multiple times, "How much have you had to drink tonight?" Every time she was asked, she denied drinking at all. The officers patiently tried to get her to present her ID for 5 minutes while she ignored them, scrolled her phone, and even called her husband. As Solo sees the situation is escalating, she finally hands over her ID, but still refuses to comply with the officers.
Step out of the car so I can make sure you are sober and able to be a competent adult in front of these kids.
Damn, you hear her babies crying in the back.
Okay, then step out of the car.
Can you tell me why?
Because you smell like alcohol.
That's fine,
and you're
but
passed
I'm
out
not
in the
driving.
car
I
with
took
the
a nap.
car on. So step out of the vehicle. I'm not asking you again.
Just step out the car. Bitch, if she was black, nigga, she would have got dragged out and shot.
Call my attorney.
Oh, damn, never mind. Hey, I spoke too soon. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. You tell that. You won't comply, we'll drag your ass out there, nigga. You tell that. You won't comply, we'll drag your ass out there, boy.
Hope refused all roadside alcohol tests, so the officers got a warrant to draw her blood and arrested her on suspicion of DUI. The test showed her alcohol level was 0.24, which is 3 times the legal limit, and she also tested positive for THC. As the officer guides her to...
Nigga, why would you drink when like, you have kids in the back of the car, bro? You couldn't wait till the kids got home? Like sometimes I don't be understanding niggas' mindsets. Like, you telling me you can't wait till you get home?
Her car by grabbing her bicep, she threatens to file a false claim.
I don't need you to touch me.
All right, let's go.
I can walk by myself.
Well, I'll make sure that you
oh my god, you don't need to touch me.
All right, that's fine.
All right, that's cool. Because I will have a complaint that you touched me inappropriately. Do not touch me.
Then she continued to berate the officers the entire time she was detained.
Ever.
So I can put the
Don't.
seatbelt.
You are loving this, aren't you?
No, I hate it.
No, you love it. You love every moment of it. But these police officers are a bunch of everything you thought they would be. A bunch of young, unintelligent.
Oh my god.
Sorry, you had nothing else to do tonight. So I hope I was very.
Bro, like, these egos, bro. This is what I be saying, man.
I know.
Like, don't give too. Like, bro, people in these egos be making me mad, bro.
Blessed you with my presence. So that's what I do.
Hope was charged of driving while intoxicated and pled guilty. The 40-year-old was sentenced to 30 days in jail, a 24-month license suspension.
Why having kids in the back only 30 days?
As well as a $2,500 fine, but she received a 30-day jail credit for submitting herself to an inpatient rehab center. She acknowledged her mistake on Instagram and recognized that alcohol was a destructive part of her life. She said, "I continue to be a student of the greatest school called life, and I will continue to learn and grow from these experiences. I will continue to gain empathy, knowledge, and stories to share. I consider this a gift to pass it on to others because pain shared is pain lessened." People were angry that she did not apologize, but rather used this as a way to again boost herself up some more. She even spoke about the situation on her podcast, where she claims this incident came from postpartum depression.
Speaking to my counselor while in treatment, and after studying my own behavior and habits and struggles throughout the pandemic, I learned about the varying levels of postpartum depression. I also came to realize that I completely lost touch.
Oh, brother! Like, just, y'all talking about IVFing, yo, like, come on,
myself,
bro.
And even with my marriage, I put myself last. Sure, I needed some help, but I also knew that I didn't need it to survive.
It's hard to admit when we're wrong, and truthfully, no matter how much you apologize or how you apologize, you will still have angry people in your comments and people saying it's not good enough. But celebrities often go into deep psychological detail about their lives as soon as major controversies come up. They go on podcasts and talk about them being just human and not perfect, hoping to gain empathy from their supporters. And over the years, they seem less genuine and more like repetitive PR statements. Hope Solo was inducted into the Soccer Hall of Fame after this DWI incident. And yes, she deserves to be considered a soccer legend because she is one. But I think it's pretty clear the media has been soft on her over the years. Why?
True.
I'm not sure. Is she a narcissist?
But like, also really think about it. Like, really put in like LeBron James shoes. Like, say if LeBron James did like some of the shit that she did. Everybody still glorify LeBron James. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Really, it just depends on how high you are in the industry or like whatever you do. That's really, man. Hey, that's really it is to it, bro. You can get away anything you want to.